Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with an Invisible AK on Forza Horizon 4. Now this was during the Mega Grip van racing where turns in a little bit too much to the final corner. Vandura brushes a curb, falls over, stuck pointing the wrong way, desperately trying to finish the race, goes for a reverse. Not quite enough to hold on to the podium. No, ends up fourth. That's a spectacular finish to say the least. MOHLSSON on Horizon 4 is driving in one of the free roam rush parts of a team adventure, or actually a normal adventure, this one, trying to get to the finish line. Now, of course, you can take plenty of shortcuts in these to try and make up time, if you like. And things were going well for the taxi until one hill. Yes, one hill got the better of the poor Austin. So, first attempt up the hill, bounces off like kind of an initial bump and goes for a roll. Second attempt up the hill goes for a different part. Nope, that's not going to work either. That's going to be a roll across the top, and that's another reset for the taxi. Gets stuck in a fairly long reset loading time. Oh, it gets put further back, of course, because that's what you need. So, by this point, you're kind of committed already to going for the shortcutting route rather than trying to drive up around the corners like you're supposed to, and over goes the taxi once more. This time, though, thankfully, coming to a rest on its wheels, so can power its way back up the course. But that lead has long since gone, and while it's close to second place, the trophy truck that would manage, or the Baja truck that would manage to get the second. Quite unlucky. Quite funny for us. Quite unlucky for them. Trixus on Horizon 4 manages to brush off of a rock, and well, that means aerial nomad donuts. Apparently. Yes, a small brush on a rock leads to aerial nomad wheelie donuts. I mean, I've seen, things like the Assettas and those things do wheelie donuts before, and I'm sure the Nomad can do normal, but it's just the manner at which this has managed to get up to do some wheelie donuts, and they're an impressive amount of spinning around. It does eventually come crashing back down to earth as it kind of gradually moves its way closer and closer to a rock face. In the end, it would clip off of the edge of that, and that will bring the car back down. But yeah, quite impressive. Quite impressive. Sam Hammer on Horizon 4, finding out that trying to do an aerial overtake on a Galant with a Subaru Legacy does not go so well. In this particular battle of Subaru versus Mitsubishi, Subaru came off worst. Subaru very much came off worst in that one. However, sometimes aerial overtakes work. Ultra Blakey on GTA 5 finding this one out as we leave the motorway for the very end of this race. Both cars ahead get into trouble. Pings off the side of one of them while the other ends up in a tree, and Blakey gets through all of that to make up 2 positions. Not too bad, can't complain too much about all of that. Haraka on Saints Row the 3rd is driving along, minding their own business. Turns out there's a body in the road, doesn't notice till the last second, bounces the car into some parked vehicles or stopped vehicles ahead, and they go for a little bit of a fly. Yeah, not quite ideal, not quite how you want traffic, but there we go. Fabinator on GT Sport is also having not really an idea. That's not the angle you want to be at to start a race. I'm just going to say, we have had weird stuff go on at the Horse Thief Mile a few times, but that's especially unhelpful a start line. We've had cars start in the pit lane before, but never quite had that many cars in that many peculiar, weirder angles. It's just a very messy start, although things also get messy on Nascar 2003 with a Ghosty 58 having been playing around a little bit with the AI kind of opponents. Might have messed around a little too much with their driving, and well, things go very badly wrong as there's a few of them go below the lines. Everything gets twitchy. This purple car that we're following with the camera is going for a great number of rolls. That's a very, very big crash. That's a very, very big crash. This is riding on board with the purple car that goes for a lot of spins. I'm not quite sure. So there's a big crash goes on at the top, and then as everyone's kind of a little bit too low on the circuit, it's just a lot of cars go out. I think only maybe 10 got through all of that alive. I mean, this we're just seeing a lot of sky, followed by a lot of floor, followed by a lot of sky, followed by quite a lot of floor and quite a broken car. Welsh Toast on RFactor also experiencing the sky floor phenomenon. This time in a Formula 1 car at Watkins Glen, and a nasty curb. A very nasty curb. It's a little bit too aggressive up the top here, and the Jag bounces onto its side, smacks the barrier and goes for a big, big roll before flying off through the infield. This is pushing on board from the AI car behind. Yeah, that's bye-bye to the Jaguar. It disintegrates. It's just so vicious. Like 1 minute it's fine, and then very viciously over the barrier, and that's the end of the Jag's race. However, that Mudkip on Automobilista with an even more violent crash. So this is the Hockenheim Classic Circuit, I think. Locks the brakes on the back of the car, trying to get it slowed down, and then everything goes all sorts of horribly wrong as the car continues to spin. We've got more sky, floor, some more concrete, and now there's a lot of floor. There's some sky again. Bounces around until it eventually comes to a halt. I mean, the crash initially, and there's because of the wheel. The wheel finds its way into the barrier. The wheel made it further around the track. I mean, the crash initially is fairly normal. It's just that slight lock of the rear brakes at the wrong time and it's into the barriers. But it just doesn't know when to stop spinning and rolling and twisting. It's lost 3 of its wheels. It loses another one. And then just as it looks like it might finally be slowing down, physics decides, nope, we're going to go for some more rolls. We're going to spin around on the nose. And I think it would have kept on rolling had it not bounced to the inside wall. So... yeah, that's a nasty one. That is a very nasty one. And of course, as I said, the wheel made it further. Finally, we have Black and Red 81 on a Bully with, well, it turns out the AI cars in this can cause shenanigans. Yes, that is an AI car repeatedly knocking over a policeman. I mean, I'm not sure, but if you were doing that in GTA, for example, the police would be very angry with you. In fact, if you were doing that in real life, policemen would be very angry with you. This one doesn't seem to care all that much, although it doesn't also move out of the way of said vehicle, which, again, is gradually, slowly made their way out of range, essentially, of the car, and then another pedestrian walks in front. And the whole merry circus doesn't quite begin again, because they don't get knocked on their arse constantly. However, turns out people just want to get in the way of that vehicle. People just want to, eventually they too move, the car is released, but still, that's a lot of shenanigans for one junction. That is a lot of shenanigans for one junction. That, though, is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. At the very top of the page is the FailRace clip submission section, and in there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. However, that is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.